It's your boy, Zoe Phillips. Thanks for tuning in to Zone Coverage Podcast, home of the HBCU Sports Authority, the oracle on all things HBCU. I'm going to tell you like this. If I tell you a mosquito can pull a wagon, don't ask me no questions. You better look his ass up. No. It's your boy, Zoe Phillips.
What's good, everybody, man? You're tuning into another episode of Zone Coverage Podcast with your boy, Zoe Phillips. And look, man, we got a good show for you this evening, man. We're going to do things a little bit different. Go switch it up a little bit, man. I want to bring in, look, I'm not going to waste no time. I'm going to actually bring in my guy, man, Scotty from OFFSCRIPT, man. Look, been killing the game for the past 3 years, man. Got the most subs and, man, most followers. Man, I actually call him the Paul Feinbaum of HBCU sports, man. So, look, man, I'm going to actually bring him on, man. Y'all tune in to my boy Scotty from OFFSCRIPT, man. What it do, man?
What is going on, man? I'm happy to be here.
Look, man, a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? Go talk about a few little things, man. I had a few things come in this evening. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to actually get some stuff that even you want to talk about, man. Were you actually able to see everything? Yay or nay?
So no. So I get what you're saying. But I got you on the other side, so I can kind of see how the setup is. It's weird. Like, it's cool, but it's still weird because it's like you're talking to me, but I don't see me talking to you. It's different, but I like it though. It's cool.
I bet. So we'll go ahead and actually mosey on. I'm gonna see if I can actually bring you up in this next screen. Hold on, let me see. I gotta go back. 1 second. Let me actually break one of the window here. Hold on. Nah, man, I'm actually have to go back. I'm gonna have to actually go back. Jesse, what's happening, man? You ain't gotta do nothing. I'm actually I'll bring you guys on here in a second, man. So I'm actually, Scott, I'm gonna do this thing the same way you doing it, dog. I learned something new today. I'm gonna do it the same way you do it. So look, before we get into it, I'd be remiss, you know what I'm saying, being an old school swag head. I want to send my condolences and send an RIP out, man, to Sean Wallace, HBCU great, Southern great. And man, I actually could tell you a lot about this dude. Was actually I would say a part of, man, one of the best defenses that I recall Southern ever having. And this is when Southern was Southern. Actually came was a really, really dominant player before Pete Richardson came. When Pete Richardson came, literally in that first year, man, turning that thing around, them guys won the SWAC, and he was one of the reasons why, you know, I never really knew him as Sean Wallace. I knew him as number 25. Right. And if you watched him play, he was, I'm not exaggerating, he was literally like the honey badger before the honey badger. Played safety, short in stature, made plays all over the field, was defensive player of the year, 2-time first conference all player, man. Back then we used to have the Sheridan poll. It was real big on HBCU ball. Man, he was a Sheridan All-American, and was the main cog in what they used to call the dog day defense at Southern. Like I said, this is back when
I like that name, the dog.
Yeah. So, you know, they kind of took it a little bit from the Cowboys. You know, Cowboys known as a doomsday defense. And so Southern actually had the dog day defense. And that, I'm telling you, they were dominant, man. And he had some battles with Steve McNair. You had Nate the Great, and then you had Sean Wallace, man. And so just want to send condolences to him, man. SWAC legend. Lost the battle with cancer, man. And just want, like I said, send our condolences to him. But and then also I want to add to, like I said, I'm all big in this HBCU space, man. I think it's the first time somebody in the MEAC, bro, actually started their own podcast, man, at Norfolk State. I want to send a shout out to the guys,
HBCU class. It's like 700.
700 Park Avenue.
Yeah, I saw that. Shout out to HBCU class.
Want to give those guys a shout out, man. Kudos for getting started, man. Anything we could do to help, man. Just want to and let me hold on. Let me swap this thing real quick, man. So I can actually get a screenshot right quick because this right here is crazy. Let me screenshot this thing right quick.
I didn't know Norfolk State had fans like that. I really didn't.
Hey man, a whole lot of things can happen when you get a different
when
coach.
you get celebrity. Yeah, they start coming out the woodwork. Like, hey, I always been a Norfolk State fan. Like, yeah, okay. Go. Behold, where were you with the Odom days? That's the real question. Where was you with the Odom days?
Hey, but you know what? I'm not even mad at it. You know what I'm saying? Because again, my thing is, everybody should be doing this right now, right? Alabama A&M took off doing their thing. Prairie View doing theirs. Southern was really the first when they had Jaguar Journal just on the radio. Then it went to TV. So they're still doing their thing, and but everybody should be, in this space doing something. So, but just want to give a shout out to them. Now we finna get to it. New coaches, man. Look, we see Norfolk State actually brought in some new coaches. We see FAMU brought in a new coach. And, man, I had all these doggone slides. Hold on, dog. Hold on. It's all good. It's late night. Let me see if I can change this and get you to this screen. Just hold on 1 second, man.
Hey, listen, I ain't got nothing but time. My wife is on the road coming back to the crib. So the longer I'm up, the happier she's going to be because I'm gonna be up when she gets to the crib. So
let me see what I can do on this, man. I tell you what, this is what we'll do. Drop out and see if you can come back in.
All right, I got you.
Bam! There we go. Can you hear me?
So yeah.
All right, yeah. Okay. I learned something here. All right, so now we can actually get into it now, man. So look, we're gonna actually to it, man. All right, new coaches. Let's go and get into it. And I'm actually bring the first one up here, man. Let me minimize this thing here for you, man. If you can actually see it.
Well, I can't see it. I can see it on the.
I got you.
Yeah.
I don't want to block you, but I want everybody to make sure they can actually see you. All right, man. So first one up, we got is Tim Smith. I'm not even familiar with these coaches, but the one thing I find weird, you know what I'm saying? And granted, I understand why Deshaun Jackson did it. It was like, hey, I'm going to announce the majority of my staff, and then I'm going to hold out with Clinton Portis. But then they even announced some more additions today. I'm going to say this. I get the whole thing with Clinton Portis because it's a name. It's going to create some buzz. But I do got to say this, man. It speaks to not having everything together. Because typically when you announce a staff, man, you announce everybody. Period. Just roll them out. I mean, Michael Vick actually had, a couple of guys they announced. Then they get a couple more guys. I guess they get cleared or sign their contracts or whatever. Then we announce those. And then now it's like we got scragglers. We're going to announce 2 or 3 here at a time. Seriously. And Delaware State's doing the same thing, right?
Yeah.
We announced assistant head coach Travis Clark the day we announced the head coach. Then when we think we got the full staff, we get hit over the head with Clinton Portis. Now we realize they got some more coaches added to the staff today as well. So, but again, we got Tim Smith. You familiar?
No. not in the listen, man. Let's keep it a buck. Like most of Vic's staff is like, who? What? How you? Why is he? It's a lot of that. Like you really have to do a lot of deep digging just to kind of say like, okay. He still don't have an OC. I mean, that's one of the biggest. You introducing weight coaches and line coaches, but you ain't got no OC. You know what I'm saying?
That we know of, right? But I'm gonna say this. Now I'm gonna say this. I love the O-line coach hire. It was a damn good hire. The assistant head coach was a good hire. But again, it doesn't, resonate at least off the name where it generates a buzz like what Deshaun did. But again, first year, and again, these guys could pan out and it could end up being a good staff. But we're just saying right now, just off the hire and name and buzz, it's lackluster.
It
It's
is.
very lackluster. You know,
Because
so
let's look
go
at
ahead.
it on because Prime is the model. Let's just keep it above. Prime is the model. And I remember when Prime first got hired, man, they threw every Hall of Famer that you could think of that it was, he's gonna get TO and he's gonna get, but he didn't. He just got Deion's. If anybody doesn't really, Deion's really loyal, and if you really rock with Deion, he's going to bring you along. That's why he brought Andre and Jason and all those guys with him. But him having Dennis Thurman for his DC, that hey, you're like, hey, okay. Like everybody else is kind of like, Terrence Mathis is like, okay, that's cool. Andre Hart, okay, that's cool. All OC was like, okay, cool. Everybody else was just okay, cool. But Deion was the show. He was the showman, and to have Dennis Thurman as your DC kind of lets you know that, okay, it's going to be a yin and yang type of field. Deion being the showman, Dennis Thurman being the defensive guy, and go from there. I kind of get that more with Deshaun than with. I'm not getting any of that from Vic. I'm not even getting the showman aspect from Vic, and that's what's really bothering me with the whole thing. But
I'll say this: I think both of them. Remember, Deshaun Jackson and Michael Vick played together with the Eagles under Andy Reid.
Yep.
It appears that Deshaun Jackson got more assistance, or or that he definitely spoke with Andy Reid for some assistance with some guys, or at least some contacts with regards to this staff, because there's some Kansas City ties there. Meaning, I'm saying, Andy Reid. I'm not seeing that with Michael Vick. I'm not seeing I reached out and got assistance from some connection. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
Whether it's Andy Reid or even Dan Reeves has passed away, but even in Atlanta, like some type of NFL connection with regards to the coaching staff, even Prime, because remember, they say, hey, they got a group chat. It doesn't seem like there was any type of assistance or any type of relationship or connection professionally for Michael Vick more so than it was for DJ, because DJ, remember, got announced after Michael Vick. You know what I'm saying? And then look what has transpired since then. So, but look, want to mention this guy, Tim Scott. Look, got another guy, Scotty here. Said Quinn Sr. Unfamiliar.
Strength and conditioning guy, hey. And
Go
I know
ahead.
you've talked about it a lot during the transition from the guy you had before, then Mo got the Jackson, and then from Mo you got Coach Beef or whatever. And I think a lot of people don't care about the strength and conditioning coach until it comes, like, you're like, hey man, we need to get right with strength and conditioning.
Well, no folk definitely does. Remember that first game of the year last year.
Yeah. So, it's one of those things where you need to get a guy, like you really need to get a guy, like somebody that you really, really think like, hey, they can really do some things and really make some moves. So, we'll see how that works out. We really will. I think, listen, I know a lot of people aren't talking about it because they don't really know the connection, but Tommy Riemann being his general manager, being a 757, like life and blood, like he's from Norfolk, like he went to Old Dominion. You know what I'm saying?
It was Vic's coach.
Huh? What's up?
He was Vic's coach.
Yeah. His dad. That's his dad. Tommy Riemann Jr. is his son, and that's who the general manager is.
Okay.
Yeah. So, but him being the general manager, and like you said, them growing up together, being from the 757, he's very instrumental because even he has his own business that was in the community, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he knows that community really, really well, and I think he's going to do a great job of synergizing that community. Unlike what I think Vic is doing by himself. Like if Vic was more Deion, I don't think you would need a Tommy Riemann as much as you do now because Vic isn't the, hey, I'm Michael Vick.
Mm-hmm.
It's more or less Tommy Riemann is going to have to be like, hey, we got Michael Vick. You know what I'm saying? Like he's the showman.
You know what? And to that point, Michael Vick is Michael Vick in name and in stature, but Michael Vick really doesn't carry the aura of Michael Vick. Like he doesn't. Yeah. He's not a showman. He, like you said, he doesn't wear Michael Vick. He's very reserved, low key, laid back. And I think maybe honestly, probably for the first time, he really need and really should. I'm not saying he got to be all boisterous because you got to be yourself. Yeah. But I think he needs to step out of his shell a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Because I think it could be more of an attractant for him if he were to be more vocal, more out there. Because again, he's been the head coach now 2 months, and you're yet to see him out off campus. You know what I'm saying, on social media or any type of public appearance, and he's in Norfolk gear. You still don't see it. He's in Michael Vick gear. You know what I'm saying? So, we got to see a change there. And look, oh, my bad. And then lastly, we got this last coach here. Again, Wilson Appleton. And I'm only familiar with him. I saw a little bit, man. He's coming from UAB. But I know he actually played in the SEC at Auburn. That's why I'm familiar with him. But again, moving up now. And again, it's a lot of unproven guys on this staff. Now, again, they may work out and be great, but Deshaun is killing them right now on that aspect. But look, and you know what? And while we're talking about Deshaun, let me just go ahead and bring these up. If I actually,
and real quick, while you're doing that, Rob Brown said in the comments, the strength and conditioning coach hired for Norfolk is fired. Wherever he is, you see the difference in those teams. I did see on his profile, I think he's a 2-time HBCU national champion. So he's been a part of some winning programs. So he's doing something right.
Okay, well, like I said, I'm just unfamiliar with him. So, yeah, but like we said, they could turn around and end up being great hires. So, not to admonish them or anything, but this is what I want to bring up. Like I said, Deshaun Jackson got Khalid Abdul-Rahim. You know what I'm saying? Bringing him in. Again, this is like 4 days after the announcement of the staff. So, like I said, I'm unfamiliar with. But this another. I do know it's from California, another from Long Beach. So again, like we stated earlier, this staff is going to have a huge California feel to it, and it's I'm really interested to see after the season, man, how much of headway they're going to make actually in California. And again, we got DJ Taylor, who was the special team coach, and we talked about that the other day. The only thing that was really missing was special team coach and linebacker coach, and here we are now. We got a special team coach, but here's the thing that's mind-boggling about this particular guy coming in as the special team coach. He was just actually recently playing as of 2023. So, I mean, this kid is really, really young, and he's taking on the actual special teams coach at a D1 program. So,
listen, man, if you're hiring 13 Bamas, somebody gonna get the short bag, okay? Like your money ain't long. Your money ain't that long. Somebody's gonna get the short bag, and for this time, it's just a special teams coach. You know what I'm saying?
Or did I say pro bono?
Hey, I need the resume builder. I need the point on. I need the resume bullet, right? So again, but the real once you start breaking it down, it's like, how big is this coaching pool? Like, how big is nobody really knows how much Deshaun Jackson is getting paid.
Yeah,
and nobody knows how much coaching pool is in his budget. And the way that Delaware State is running it, it's like it's an open bank right now. And I gotta respect it because I can. What I like to see is, okay, if you're going to go in, go all in.
Mm-hmm.
Don't half step. Don't put your big toe in it. Said, the water's a little cool. No, we're all the way behind Deshaun Jackson. We're building a new facility. We're in Delaware State. We ain't got nothing to lose. Let's go full steam ahead and let's do this thing. And I love it. I love it. I really do. And I just hope he makes good on it and whatever that looks like.
I got a funny feeling he took a haircut. I think Deshaun Jackson may not be getting paid what we think he is. But I think he made a choice to help the actually more guys to get the staff there because he's basically saying, look, I want to win.
That might be the Andy Reid. That might be the Andy Reid advice to say, hey, listen, you're only as good as your staff because you're a first-time head coach in college. Mm-hmm. You're really going to need guys around you to really do all the work until you kind of get this thing figured out. Instead of you taking $450, why don't you take $350 and use the extra $100,000, which I've always said about every HBCU coach in whatever. But don't even get me started about Connor Maynard. He getting paid $325, and I'm like, bro, you need some staff. But anyway, let's say he did take 350, you know what I'm saying, or 375 or whatever, and then put the rest of that money in the coaching pool to be able to do what he's doing right now, which to me is genius. That's the play.
Yeah, I'm curious because again, we still don't have a linebacker coach.
Arrington's coming.
Hey, hey, all I know is if it happens, like I said Jeremiah Trotter, right? But man, listen, if LeVar Arrington comes over to Delaware State, I know something. And I also know Delaware State can't be paying him. It can't be. Come on now. Clem Portis, DJ, and LeVar Arrington.
Hey, listen.
Come on now.
Hey, Delaware State money. Listen, Delaware State ain't got no money. They ain't got no money.
I'm not saying they do. I'm not even implying that. But come on, man. Somebody taking a haircut doing some pro bono work somewhere. Come on, man.
It could be all them defensive assistants because it's assistant to this, assistant wide receiver, assistant this, assistant that. Like some people are just on the simple. Some people might just be like, you know what? I need the opportunity. I need the opportunity to get into coaching. Hey,
you know what? For the first year, you know what? You could be right. For the first year, I'll come do this pro bono. I need the opportunity, resume builder, and then I can move on. But then again, you still got to replace it and add some other guys for the next year, and they still got to get paid.
Well, if you start winning, it's kind of self-recruitment, right? Because now it's like Delaware State's a believer. They might fund you a little bit more money. You might get some sponsorships for next year. You might get Pac-Man say he gonna give him some money if he get to 7 wins.
Oh, he said 7 wins?
Is it 7 or 8?
I thought he had to be 500.
If he's 500, he's supposed to get like 100,000 or something.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's there. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? I think he'll give it to him anyway.
I hope he do.
I think he's gonna give it to him anyway after the season. I think he just like didn't want to say it, say out the rip. I think after the first year, especially day 500. And we're gonna talk about that because I'm gonna bring the schedule up because I was having this conversation today. I was like, Delaware State. I'm like, bro, they actually can go 500 this year. Like it's not far fetched. I get it. We have to get out the mindset of saying the name like Delaware State, even Terrell Buckley, like we mentioned in Valley. It's like, oh, it's Valley. And look, I get it. And I'm not on this thing. Yeah, Valley gonna be tough. Look, they recruited well. We don't know and that's the other question. Where the hell is Valley staff at?
That's your man's.
Listen,
that's your man's.
Listen. But you know what? I'm willing to bet you. Terrell Buckley gonna announce his staff at one damn time. I'm willing to bet you. Get everybody locked up in them at one damn time. I'm willing to bet you.
That's what I got. That's what we rolling with.
All right, so look, we talk about the coaches. Now we got to bring the best stuff for last. Them Browlers down there, Tally Ho, man. Look, Cedric Williams. Now, sound like fam, you need to hire some more guys because man, this dude he got like 4 or 5 jobs, man. 4 or 5 jobs, man. Look, what's this? OC, run game coordinator, O-line coach. Now, I've never in my life seen a run game coordinator, O-line coach, and an OC. Ever.
That's somebody being cheap. Ain't nobody that damn good. Ain't nobody that damn good. That is a Bama being cheap.
Man, I think he's spreading himself too thin, though. Seriously.
Dog, why you think the white boy got fired last year? Okay? He was the OC and the O-line coach. The O-line was ass.
See what I'm saying?
You see what I'm saying? So, listen, man. Leave Henry Burris as the OC. Shouldn't be no nothing. Henry Burris should be your OC. Make this Bama the running back coach, the running game coordinator, and the O-line coach. And bam, you're good. Leave it at that. Just leave it like that.
Here's my thing, though. What I'm confused on is not so much the splitting of the job. That's one part of it. But it's like the fact that run game coordinator, O-line coach, co-offensive coordinator. You see what I'm saying? It's not like he's the OC and then O-line coach. You see that several times, or a quarterback coach / OC. Yeah. But you're a co-offensive coordinator. If he ain't calling plays, then why is he co-offensive coordinator? Because again, you talking about run game coordinator and O-line coach. If you ain't calling plays, what are we doing?
Resume builder. So I think okay, let me say this. My time at the coalition, I kind of see how coaching and all that stuff kind of works out.
Mm-hmm.
I give you a title so that when you go to your next job, I can say I called plays. I can say that because my title says I did, right? So it kind of gives you a leg up in certain situations because I can say I was an offensive coordinator, or I can say I game planned as an offensive coordinator or got the play sheet together. So it looks good on a resume, even though granted, Joseph Henry been the co-offensive coordinator since Willie was there. He wasn't calling no plays.
We know that. And we all know that though.
But I'll talk to Willie about that, right? He says, but during the week, everybody's a part of the game planning process of, hey, we think these plays should go in, and hey, we think this might work during this situation. So he brings all the minds together, but he just implements it on game day.
I got a question then. So if Willie told you what he said, and you just came back and said what you said, so if that same coach, what's his name for FAMU?
Joe Henry.
Okay, so Joe Henry leave FAMU, go to another school, and put on his resume, oh yeah, I'm co-offensive coordinator. We average 30 points a game, 27 this, 400 some yards, whatever the case may be. Is he lying? Because he lying. He lying.
To me, he's lying because you didn't call the plays. That's just me.
You lying. It's catfish.
Dog, bro, come on, man. Like, you know how he gets on a resume. You know how I be. You know how I be on your resume. Let's not play this.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I know how it be, but here's the one caveat. There's this thing when you have a resume, when you say you did something, it's a little R word at the end of it. It's called references. I'm gonna call the check to make sure you did what you said you did. You see what I'm saying? And if I talk to Willie, I'm like, Willie, now I saw you with that sheet on the game with shotgun on front of your chest, and I saw you calling plays.
Listen, man.
I'm just saying, references now.
I get you.
I mean, because he ain't had no name or no gun on his sweater. Joe Henry. It was shotgun, and it was just FAMU on his shirt.
Well, I mean, what really hurt Joe was his last year performance as an OC. That, because he could have got away. He really, like on the Scooby-Doo, that you would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for those family. Joe really would have got away with it, but when he took over the ship, he sank it. I'll say this. He didn't destroy the ship. He didn't sink it. He just put a lot of holes in it. And he didn't plug it up like it needed to be plugged. So, it is what it is, but I think it's just one of those resume builders, man. It's just one of those resume builders. You know how I be, where you really train 10 people, but you said you trained 30. You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things. And everybody in your comments and all, you got 130 people on here. That everybody be lying on their resume.
Man, see, look what Blue said. The assistant O-line coach be taking credit for 320 passing yards per game and having a 1,000 wide receiver. So I'm saying, man.
Everybody be lying on their resume, man.
I'm just saying, look, all I'm saying is, in this case, okay, it's help your resume. Okay, I tell you what. So then, okay, FAMU was finna, look, FAMU had another damn good recruiting class, but like a lot of other teams, they got to bring another quarterback. They got to find what they're going to have at quarterback, right? But let's say, remember now, this is Coach's second year, and you should see some form of progress from year 1 to year 2. Well, typically that's the way it goes. It's kind of hard to say that now because of this new landscape and all this turnover that everybody's going to have, right?
Yep.
When they talk about continuity, because look at the swag. It's only 3 return quarterbacks in the conference. Everybody's bringing in the quarterback. So then, what if their offense regresses this year? I'm not saying it's going to happen. Just a question. What if they regress this year? Then what?
Cozy fired. It's very simple.
Well, but here's the thing. Are the fan base going to sit there and say, which one of the OC is calling plays? Oh man, we're doing XYZ because again, I'm telling you, dog, to sit there and say you're co-offensive coordinator. Oh, let's say he's not. Okay, he's the run game coordinator and O-line coach. Man, if they not running the ball good and that offense sucks, I'm just saying.
Listen, Henry did his due diligence in what I saw after Joe Henry quit on the team, because that's what he did. He quit on the team. What I saw in the FAMU offense after Henry Burris took over is what I expected to see from a FAMU team. So for me, I don't get why you needed to have a co-offensive coordinator unless Henry Burris is telling you, I don't want to do this or I don't want to do that or I need some help or whatever. Okay, then okay, whatever. But I didn't understand why there needs to be a co-OC at FAMU. It just doesn't make any sense. I thought Henry Burris did a damn good job, and it's his job. Very simple to me.
I look, I'm lost on it. Again, all this could be a moot point. Again, they could come in and hit the ground running and have a good offense, but I just don't. I'm not seeing it. I mean, I don't think. I'm about to say I'm not even seeing. Look, Dan Richardson actually ended up coming in and making some noise. They had a little stretch where he didn't play too great, but now and I'm gonna tell you, I would be ecstatic about them really making some noise if Daniel Richardson was coming back for a second season. When I talk about continuity, right? You look at what he did his first year. Now he's coming back a second year, even under Joe Henry, right? It's like, okay, that's something to be like, oh, FAMU plus they recruited again very well. But now again, we're bringing in another quarterback, and I'm not too sold on the kid from Central Michigan that they got in. As opposed to Daniel Richardson either.
Yeah, I've seen his tape. He has a big arm. I mean, the kid can sling it. But I don't know. Okay, let me say this. If Henry Burris is calling the plays, I think you're okay. Let me. I want to be very cognizant of what I'm saying. I can see FAMU running Colorado's offense, and what I mean by that is I can see a lot of bubble screens. I can see a lot of wide receiver screens, a lot of easy stuff. I know a lot of people are like, but he's no Shador. I'm not saying he has to be Shador. The offense that Colorado runs is a very low risk offense. It's a playmaker. It's a high level playmaker offense to where, hey, give the ball to your playmaker, let him make a play, and let's keep it going down the field. And I think the guy that they got from Central Michigan can do that. And I think that's what he's going to do. And the one thing that Daniel Richardson couldn't do very well is throw the deep ball. And this kid can throw it 40, 50 yards in the air. And you have that FAMU Florida speed to really extend that. Because think about it, Zoe. If I'm able to throw it 40 yards over your head, even though I don't do it very often, you still have to be cognizant of that.
You still stretch the defense because you're going vertical.
I still got to stretch the defense because I'm going vertical. So, even though 60 or 70% of my plays might be 5 yards and down, but I'll catch you on the big ones when I need to.
Well, see, the only thing about that, though, is typically when you have that mindset of keeping a defense honest by stretching them vertically, it speaks to me doing something running the ball. Because I'm literally doing that to keep you at bay, to kind of weaken the box a little bit. Because hey, saying we're gonna do either or with balance, we're gonna run the ball, and that's one thing FAMU really didn't do much of last year, like really sticking to running the ball a whole lot. Like, you know what? Hey, this game we're kind of struggling throwing the ball, but we really can win the game if we stay grounding it on this particular game. I didn't see that from them last year where they would actually stick to it. Let me tell you why. A tailor-made game for them to do that last year? Jackson State.
To do what?
To run the ball. And I'm saying to run the ball and like go and stretch them vertically. Like they if you remember, their biggest plays was like these short passes to who was that 13 for us recovering them. He got beat and they got those touchdowns. But I'm saying they didn't really stretch Jackson State vertical last year. And my thing is they stay committed to running the ball.
They couldn't. Daniel Richardson. I scouted him and I told everybody. I said Daniel Richardson 20 and down. He's deadly. 20 and up. It's real shaky. Like that's I don't know where the ball going after 20 yards. You know what I'm saying? It start fluttering and die. So he couldn't stretch the defense vertically because he didn't have the arms. He didn't have the arm talent to do so. But if you think about it, Colorado doesn't run the ball. The short that short passing game
is the run game.
Is the run game. You get what I'm saying? So if you're in that lane, now I don't think he can throw the ball as much as Shedeur, 30, 40 times. But what I'm saying is that if you simplify the offense,
it's just their scheme they want to do though.
If you there you go. If you run that easy scheme, get the ball out quick, get my playmakers the ball, get them in space, get motion, get some offense, and get some eye candy with it, I don't see nothing wrong with it. And the run game did pick up after Joe Henry left. Why? Because Joe started running things that work for the offensive lineman. He didn't do power anymore. He did pulls, counters, sweeps, stuff to get like washing down and then pulling. He did a lot of movement. It wasn't just straight duo because the O-line they weren't a powerful O-line to just say, hey, we're going to go duo, work to the backer and push everybody. No. He got some guard tackle pulls. He got some sweeps. He got people out in space, right? So got some movement. And it started working down the line. And you saw how good Thad Franklin really was later in the season. You're like, oh man, okay, having him to come back for another year, that's big time.
So basically, they didn't play to the personnel.
No, absolutely not. And that was the worst thing about it. So if you're a FAMU fan, you're watching the game and like, why are we trying to run the ball when we're not a run first team? They were a pass first team, and I didn't think Joe Henry did enough schematically to work. I mean, bro, you had one of the fastest guys, Jamari Gassett, and you just never found ways to get him the ball in space. Quan Lee, Robert Lockhart. You're talking about some fast Florida guys. You know what I'm saying? I think Lockhart ran like a 10-1 in 100. You know what I'm saying? Like he's the kick returner. So I think Henry Bird, what you're going to see from Henry Bird and what you're going to see from this FAMU team coming into next year, I think you're going to see speed, fast, out in straight CFL style football. Hey, let's spread it out. Let's work it, get it in their hands, and let them do some stuff.
All right. Bet. Well, look, we're going to actually get into man, the Delaware State schedule, man. Let me go ahead and pull this thing go too, man. Because I know you pulled up the other day. Look, and I'm going to move this over here for me in between us. So I can blow this up a little bit, man. So, look, first game of the year, man, they got University of Delaware. Next game, they got Albany, Bowie State, St. Francis, Sacred Heart, and Monmouth. And then they got Southern Connecticut State. I guess that's homecoming, I'm imagining. And that's your non-conference slate. Finish that up, you got to bye. And then literally you got North Carolina Central, Norfolk State, Morgan State, Howard, and South Carolina State. Now, I'm going to say this. I actually like the schedule makeup that they have, even within the conference, because their winnable games are all sandwiched in between the tough games.
If you see me looking down, I'm looking at the schedule.
Oh, you're good. And I think the way their conference slate, it actually works to them. Like I said, they opened up against Central. That's going to be a tough game. And you followed it up with a big, huge game with Norfolk State, but then you got Morgan and Howard back-to-back. And then you finish up with South Carolina State. I love the way the conference slate goes for them. But then, again, that non-conference slate, like you made a good point the other day, they have a damn good opportunity to finish that non-conference slate, possibly, 3-3. And if they do, well, they got 7 non-conference games. So, if they're 3-4 in their non-conference slate,
that's a win.
That's a win for them.
That's a win. You're talking about a team that was 1-11. I want to be very clear. We're talking about a team that was 1-11 last year, folks. 1 and don't say, okay, 1-11. So for them to be 3 and anything, okay, 3-4, 3-3, I don't give a damn what you're talking about.
And look, and we can go ahead and we can actually go ahead and get out in front of it now, because let's say they beat that was that Southern Connecticut State. Let's say they beat St. Francis, and let's say they win Albany. Say you win those games. Well, not Albany, because Albany could be pretty tough.
They definitely beat Bowie State. They beat Bowie State.
Bowie State, right? So let's say they win those 3 games. You know what people will say? Oh, well, they hadn't really played anybody good. Well, hell, they only won 1 game last year. They get a mulligan. They get a coupon with it. Seriously.
I feel
but here's the thing, though. Remember, year 1 of a brand new regime, and even if what they say is true, that they beat some bad teams, a bad team needs that. A bad team in year 1 of a brand new regime, that's what you need.
Because a perennial loser.
You need any semblance of success in a year 1 of a regime, because here's the thing. Because by hook or crook, if they roll into that bye week, bro, 3-4, and God forbid, don't let them be 4-3. I'm serious. Don't let them be 4-3. Granted, I know people, it won't happen, but if they're 3-4 going into that bye week, man, woe be unto the MEAC.
Hey, listen, Blue, I get it, man. Listen, if this was anybody else, I would be 100% with you. With 2 division wins, I would be right there with you. Like, I don't give a damn. And Blue, you know, I'd be like, I really don't give a damn.
So here's the thing. And Blue, give an answer in the chat. If they're 3-4 with 2 wins against 2 Division 2 teams, right? But also, we cannot miss, it's how they'll look in their D1 games. You know, it's how you look losing. But if they beat, let's just say they only beat Morgan and Howard, and let's say Norfolk, that's 3 games. They're in contention. And last time I checked, if they win 3 conference games and they're 3-4 going to the bye week, Scotty, what's that? They're 6-6.
It's 6-6. It's 6. Listen, I think for me, this is my thing. I love the bye week right before conference play.
I do too.
I love that, because it's like, hey, I get to watch what NC Central is doing that week before, scout them, be ready for that, because that's a big game. That's their homecoming too. So you're getting yourself mentally prepared to go into the nest at their homecoming and try to pull off an upset. And I want to be very clear. If Marquis Adams is the quarterback of Delaware State, Walker Harris is not that much better than Marquis Adams. And if we're going talent for talent, Marquis Adams is the better quarterback. Now, team for team is different. But if we're going talent for talent, Marquis Adams is a better talent than Walker Harris. Walker Harris can sling it, but Marquis Adams is a better talent. And now you're talking about, how do you build around that Marquis Adams talent and really make this game competitive? Because beating NC Central, you're going to have to beat them in the trenches. Pretty much beating any of these MEAC teams, you're going to have to win the trenches, but especially playing Central and South Carolina State. If you want to be competitive in those 2 games, your trench play is going to have to be A1.
So check this out. So I pulled up Central schedule because I was hoping, depending on who they played the week before, thinking it could be like a trap game or something, or the week after. North Carolina Central actually plays FAMU October 11th. Then they have a bye, and then they play Delaware State for homecoming. The next week, they play Howard on the road. Because their last 4 games, they finish up, they play Howard, then they play Norfolk State, South Carolina State, and then at Morgan State.
Yeah, they're going to be ready. They're going to be ready. They're going to be ready. I mean, you play FAM, and then you want to buy for homecoming, you're going to be ready. Because you got to be ready for FAM. You got to be ready for FAM. You know what I'm saying? It just is what it is. Out of conference, it don't matter. You still got to get ready for them. And if Trey Oliver, he takes them out of conference games just as seriously as conference games. Listen, anybody can get beat. Okay, I don't know if people like beat NC Central. Like, listen, bro, anybody can get beat on any given day. Do I think they have everything they need? Listen, Chennis Berry beat NC Central year 1.
Yeah.
Year 1, he moves from D2 to D1 and beats the defending champions.
And when you say that, the first thing someone will say is, well, Chennis Berry had Eric Phoenix, who won Conference Player of the Year.
They weren't defending. They were a year away. They were a year removed from, but they were good. But go ahead.
But they're going to say, oh, but Chennis Barry had Eric Phoenix. But to that, I will say, it's not like Delaware State doesn't have a quarterback. They have a quarterback there, and the cupboard wasn't bare. I have to say this all the time. Yes, Delaware State won one game, but it does not mean that they're devoid of talent. Last time I checked, and look, I'm a diehard Jack State fan, as you guys know. Every player that we really realized that's left Delaware State that landed someplace else, they've been damn good players.
They've been pretty damn good.
I mean, so the cupboard isn't bare, and again, he's recruited okay. They got some speed in there. I'm telling you, Kobe Boykin is going to be a star in the MEAC. I'm telling you, they got a quarterback. They got some speed. They got a couple of Deshaun Jackson outside a receiver. I mean, so they're it just come down to what they're going to run, what it looks like, how much buy-in that they have, and what type of physicality are they going to have in the MEAC? Because that's going to be the one thing that's going to hold true in the MEAC is the physicality of it. But again, 6-6 is not. I'm telling you, it's not unthinkable. It's not unreachable. It's an attainable thing that can actually happen. And if Delaware State goes 6-6 in Deshaun Jackson's first year
2 is going to be crazy.
Year 2 is going to be crazy.
Year 2 is going to be absolutely. It's going to be bananas. Year 2 is going to be bananas. The only issue is he's going to have to go find a quarterback again. That's going to be the only issue. I think Marquis in his senior year, he's probably going to have to find another quarterback. But year 2 is going to go dumb. You're going to have Kobe Boykins back for another year if he decides to stay. You're going to have all the young guys that you've already brought in, freshmen, that are probably going to start. They're going to be first-year starters. You know what I'm saying?
So California.
So you know what I'm saying. So now you got that pipeline brewing, because now they're like, hey man, if we're good enough, we'll play as freshmen. You know what I'm saying? So again, it's going to come down to the recruitment of linemen and D linemen. That's it. Because to me, I don't think Deshaun Jackson's going to have a problem finding skill players. I really don't. It's going to come down to, can you find the big boys in the trenches and develop them? You know what I'm saying? So that's what it's really going to come down to. And I don't know what it is about this NC Central game. Yes, do I think NC Central is going to win? I do. But I feel like it could be a shootout. I really do. I really feel like you're going to be in that. It could be in that 28-35, 24-31. You know what I'm saying? To where it's a game. It's really a game. And what Blue said, like, if they're getting blown out by FCS talent, you're like, damn, like this ain't is what it. But I'll be remiss to say this, and this is a horrible example, but I'm gonna say it. The year that South Carolina State won the Celebration Bowl, they got their ass whooped in out of conference, and then ran the table in the conference. That's all. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm gonna leave it at that.
I'm actually going to just say it here today. I really believe Delaware State is going to have a better record than Norfolk in year 1.
Ooh, I have to drop a ball. Hold
on.
Clip that. Clip that.
I do. I'm serious. Clip it. I believe Delaware State will have a better record than Norfolk in year 1. And look, okay, question. Do you think, being that Vic got hired beforehand, wanted Deshaun on his staff, if Deshaun Jackson wins that game against Norfolk and he has a better record than Vic in year 1, do you think that applies any form of pressure, anything in year 1 for Vic? Because I don't think it's going to look good knowing that this is a guy you want on your staff. Y'all were teammates and came in late and superseded you in year 1.
I would say this: if Vic can have a better overall record and still lose to Delaware State, I'm cool. I'm cool with that.
Mm-hmm.
But if Deshaun Jackson has a better overall record, and I don't give a damn about the Division II teams, I don't care. If Deshaun Jackson has a better overall record than Norfolk State, and he beats him, that's tough.
I don't get the feeling that he's going to be able to out recruit Deshaun Jackson.
I think Deshaun has a bigger. I think Deshaun has a bigger pool he's fishing in. Like, I know what you said about Huddle, right? Like, you can recruit anywhere, and I get that. But I just think, like, just Help me out.
Deshaun's tied. Here's the thing. Deshaun is affiliated and tied into Long Beach Poly. It's not because he went to school there. Because of Travis Clark, man. Look, the Moore League. Y'all need to Google it. The Moore League and the Ocean League. Deshaun's tied into all those kids, bro. And Snoop's League. Like he got tangible relationship with high school kids. Man, look, Junipero Sarah, man, got the receiver from there. Man, go look at the history of that school and like what they put out. Look, I mean, Poly by itself, Poly sent the most NFL players of any high school in the country, and he got direct ties to that joker. Not because he played there, because him being him and going back and coaching and doing what he's been doing all this time. Plus the kids at Wilson last year. I'm telling you, man. Then you add Clinton Portis to that. I don't see it, man. It's gonna be a lot of more kids coming from Cali next year. All you gonna hear in Dover? Yeah, cuz. What set you claim, cuz? I'm serious. That's all you gonna hear next year. It's gonna have a tough Cali feel to it. Please believe me. That's all you gonna hear. Please believe me. Yeah, cuz.
It's hella cold out here, cuz. It's hella cold.
You came all the way over here.
Listen, when it comes to, I know for a fact the 757 is literally in
for sure.
Yeah, like they got that on strap. So if they're getting the best talent coming, they're not getting the best talent, but they're getting top level talent that's coming out the 757. Okay, cool. But is that enough? I don't think it's enough.
But see, here's the difference between the 757 and what Deshaun will be able to do. Virginia, the 757 by itself doesn't have the sheer number of players that California has.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. That's why I feel like the pool that he's fishing in is just bigger.
Yeah. It's way more players. Way more good players too. Look, matter of fact, I just saw something today, right? Because I was actually talking about this year's crop of players in class of 2026, because they're officially being recruited right now, right? So if you look at the top 100 players in the country, dude, Mississippi got 6 of the top 100. Louisiana got 6 of the top 100. Georgia got 14. Florida got like 26, right? Texas got like 20 something. Virginia has like 8. California got the most. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like Virginia has way more people than Mississippi, but they barely got more top 100 players than Mississippi and Louisiana. Like the 757 is loaded, but bro, California is just a whole different animal. You look at all the D1 schools, and most of the look at Fresno State. Pretty much 95% of Fresno State roster is California. UCLA, mostly California. USC, mostly California. Here, 3/4 of Boise's roster is from California.
California, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, then you got the JUCOs, like California, and it's one of the Florida is Florida, California, and Texas. Then Georgia's creeping them now, but California is just the shit numbers. But look how big the damn state is.
Yeah,
I mean, he gonna get it. He's gonna get some. So
there's two things I want to see from Deshaun. Trenches and quarterback.
For sure.
That's it. That's if I want to see what type of quarterback he recruits. Marquis Adams was not his recruit. Let's just be very clear. That's Lee Hall recruit. So I'll give Lee Hall that. That's the only thing I'm gonna give him. No Diddy, right? But I want to see what Deshaun Jackson, because quarterbacks out of Cali, and you said that about Jay Walker and them all, they're used to making that transition to come to the East Coast. I want to see what a quarterback, because I really believe he'll get a quarterback from Cali. A quarterback from Cali looks like, and what type of talent he can pull in from the state of California. Because
I'm gonna say this. Do you know which states produce the best quarterbacks in college and in the NFL? It's 2 states. It's 2 states, California and Texas.
Better get you one.
So the odds of him able to get one I don't doubt it, because if you check it, that's where they come from. Now, granted, you'll have, one from Mississippi every blue moon. You'll have a Brett Favre, but they're rare, right? You'll have a Peyton Manning coming from Louisiana. Louisiana have some, but it's not a year in, year out. California, Texas quarterbacks. Look at right now. If you look at the best quarterbacks in the league right now, they're by far Texas and California. The only outside one is Lamar from Florida. I mean, so I think he'll be better?
I think Burrow's from Ohio.
Yeah, Burrow's from Ohio.
And Herbert, where Herbert from? I know Bo Nix from Alabama.
Mm-hmm.
Where Herbert from?
He's from California.
Cali, yeah, Cali boy.
Okay. Like, you look at the quarterbacks coming out of college right now. You got Shedeur from Texas. You got Cam from Texas. I forgot the other kid. And then now, talking about the quarterback from Ole Miss. He's from California.
Jackson Dart.
Jackson Dart's from California.
Very high on him.
I forget the other kid. He's from California. Like, I'm telling you, year in and year out, it's California and Texas. So I believe that Sean will be able to do something.
Just real quick, off topic.
Sure.
This is going. So I was talking to a scout, and I asked him about Shedeur. He said nobody in the team that he's working for, nobody in the team that he was working for would take him in the first round. They said some of them wouldn't even take him in the second round. And when I was like, but what they said was, what does he do better than Jalen Hurts? They said, if you're talking about a prospect, if you're talking about Jalen Hurts coming out of Oklahoma and Shedeur Sanders right now, you're like, what does he do that's better than Jalen Hurts? And I was like,
ooh, I can name one thing off the rip, though.
I can just say accuracy. I just say he's a little bit.
I was going to say that on the heartbeat, ball placement.
That's really all you got. And it's like, okay. So, and when he broke it down to me like that, he said, okay, so why is he a first round pick? Because he said you can't, if you compare careers, Jalen Hurts. Now, when he did it like that, I said, well, I look at Shedeur as a Mac Jones, right? And why I say that is because if you put Shedeur on Alabama, they probably go to a national championship.
For
you
sure.
know what I'm saying? I don't know about this year, but the years past, they go to a national championship because you didn't really need to do much because there's just so much talent around you. You just got to facilitate the ball. But when you're talking about a Jalen Hurts and you're talking about a career where he went from Alabama to Oklahoma and still had high levels of production, I was like, okay, I can see it. I can see it. So it was just funny to me when somebody brought that up to me.
Well, it's two things. I say accuracy jumps out off the rip, but I'll say I can honestly probably say toughness. If you look at how bad Shedeur got beat up with the O-line that he has, and I think people forget, there's a skewed argument with that. Because to your point, when you mentioned Shedeur at Alabama, I'll say this. Because we didn't see it, right? Let's see Shedeur Sanders with a damn good O-line, like Jalen Hurts had. Because if Shedeur Sanders had what Jalen Hurts had at Oklahoma, Shedeur he wins the Heisman, I think. Because if he can stay upright and not rush, his stats will be through the roof. I mean, look what he did. Go ahead.
I think the flip side to that is he making the same throws? Because now this is the part where I have my problem with Shedeur. You never win against top talent. You've never played you played against any team that was and this I kept saying this. Any time that they were not favored, he lost. He lost. Like BYU. He was favored in BYU, and he still got mollywopped.
I'll say this: I agree. He didn't win, but I always come back to Shedeur. I feel like Shedeur in college this year is almost like Mahomes at Kansas City this year, right? Had the wide receivers, but man, the O-line was trash. And again, you could put Tom Brady behind that Colorado line. I mean, if Shedeur had, to me, I want to see what that looks like. because then I think you got a better comparison. Also, when he mentioned the whole thing about, well, why give him in the first half, in the first round, I say this. Well, that's kind of a flaw, to me, a flawed statement to make that, because go back to when Jalen Hurts came out, that was a heavy defensive draft. So it come down to, how you fit and what team actually wants you. That draft when Jalen Hurts came out, that was a heavy defensive draft that year. So it come down to need and who, who wants what. Now, granted, I get it. Some people say, hey, if you're a superior quarterback, but Jalen Hurts was never that coming out of college. He wasn't rated as this is the best quarterback, in college. He wasn't even talked about as the one or two best quarterbacks coming out. He was never mentioned in college the way Shedeur was. Never. Remember how it was. Remember how it was coming out. He really only saved himself because when remember after Tua got hurt, he came back in and won the SEC championship game. And then what happens? He even got benched, and now he had to end up leaving going to Oklahoma. He had a good season that last year in Oklahoma, but he was never coming out like, oh yeah, he's one of the best quarterbacks in college football. He never had that.
He wasn't up for the Heisman?
Yeah, he was in the running for the Heisman, but I'm talking about coming out for the draft. He was never talked about like as one of the top two quarterbacks coming out. Like, oh, he's a possible first pick in the draft or even a top 5 pick. He was never that to begin with.
My only issue with the statement is, I think because at the end of the day, he just didn't have it. If you have, listen, I don't think my issue with Shedeur is he just never. I would have liked to see him play better competition, and for me, I do agree with you. I think he's tough. I think he's accurate. I just don't think he's special. And what makes it even worse is when you're saying like, what would Shedeur be with a great old line? Well, if you're a top 5 pick, like it's not too many situations where you're Ezekiel Elliott and the only reason the Cowboys are getting picked is because their quarterback got hurt. You know what I'm saying? So now, we're a top 5 pick because we didn't have a quarterback. You know what I'm saying? We had a backup and we lost all those games, and now Ezekiel Elliott, but we had 2 Hall of Famers on the offensive line. 3 Hall of Famers. Travis Frederick. Travis, Zach, and
77. I mean
Tyron Smith. So we had 3 Hall of Famers. We had 3 Hall of Famers on the O-line, right? So, and then you walk into a situation like that. I don't think Shedeur is that type of talent. I don't think he's that caliber of talent to walk into a bad situation. If he goes to the Browns, and I know we are going off completely off topic, I apologize.
You're good.
If he goes to the Browns, he's not going to be in the league very long.
I'll say this. The only red flag I have about Shedeur showed itself this year. And that's a major concern. Because again, to your point, say go to the Browns. Point you just made. Remember, they had a bad stretch during the season. And remember, he gets hit every game a lot because the O-line isn't good. Remember how he came out through the O-line under the bus during this year? So, again, and you always had the supervision of your dad to kind of guide you and buffer a lot of things. My thing is, dad won't be there now. You know what I'm saying? And by all accounts, let's say he does get picked by the Browns, right? And let's say he's getting hit like that, in first year. What does that look like? Because these are grown men. They won't sit there and be quiet the way it was in Colorado because your dad's the coach. So again, what's that going to look like? That's the only red flag I have on him. Other than that, man, I love his moxie. I love the fact that he grew up in it. I love his accuracy. I think Shedeur got the goods to be. I'm not gonna say an all-time great right now because I really don't see it right now. I believe he got the goods to be a serviceable quarterback in the league. But again, it's going to come down to, as you know, man, the team he goes to, the situation, what's around him, the coaching staff, you know what I'm saying? What does that look like? Because again, we see year in and year out. It's tons of quarterbacks, man, that can actually ball and be really good, and they get into the league, and they aren't in the league what they were in college.
My ceiling for Shedeur is Eli Manning, and he's fringe Hall of Famer. Let's be very clear.
I don't agree.
I don't think he's a Hall of Famer, but he's a fringe Hall of Famer. Very fringy, right? But you're talking about a Super Bowl. Like, if Shedeur goes to the right situation, it's a problem. He's going to be a problem. And for me, if I'm Shedeur, I want to get picked from 10 to 20. Like, that's where Shedeur should go. He needs to go to a Steelers. He needs to go to a Cowboys. He needs to go to. I'd happily take him. All right,
I bet you would.
Happily take him. You know what I'm saying? And see, people are talking about Geno as talent. I'm talking about success.
I like him in Seattle.
Right? Like, you need to go to an established. I'm not talking about talent. I'm talking about career, right? Like, I'm talking about where I see him as a career. I can see him winning a Super Bowl in the right situation at the right franchise, because it all depends on what you want to be. Do you want to be a quarterback like a Geno Smith, who's never been to a Super Bowl, who's probably, I think he's won like 1 or 2 playoff games, like, you know what I'm saying? But you're just like, or Teddy Bridgewater, right? Like, you're just like, you're just there. Or do you want to be a guy who's made it to a Super Bowl and can get their team back to playoffs or whatever? So I just think if he goes to the right situation, to where teams that really, really believe in trying to win and really are putting pieces around, to where he doesn't have to do it all and be it all, I think that'd be a great. Listen, the only one right now that I would be like, if I was Shedeur, like, I'd be like, I really don't want it, but I would want it, is the Jets. Like, it's kind of like, because Aaron Glenn's a defensive guy, so he's not going to. He's going to build that defense up right. They're probably going to have a good running game with Bryce Hall behind him. He got the young receiver. You know what I'm saying? Garrett Wilson. You add another receiver to that. Add a tight end. You can do something with that. You know what I'm saying? So, but that'd be my thing. He goes to the Browns.
I can actually, believe it or not, I think a good situation, believe it or not, still could possibly be the Giants. I do. Dayball, not so much a head coach. He's a damn good play caller. He's a damn good OC, and he's done wonders with quarterbacks. And I think the Giants can actually have some pieces around him. And he already has a relationship with Malik Neighbors. You get another receiver. It's a big market. It's going to always be more attractive than the Jets getting players. So, and the Giants typically have been good. They just happen to be down as of now because they had Daniel Jones and he was just slow. But outside of that, I think it's a good pickup. I'm gonna say this and we can segue on. Shedeur, at least right now, kind of reminds me of, I can't think of the guy's name from North Carolina State that's been in the league, been a backup. Start with the Patriots year before last.
Drake May, Mac Jones. You talking about quarterbacks, right?
Mm-hmm.
Matt Castle.
Black guy. From North Carolina State.
Brissett, Jacoby
Brissett. He doesn't have the same skill set. Just said it's a bigger player. But I'm just saying, Jacoby Brissett has a pretty decent career. You know what I'm saying? You're expecting more of Shedeur because he's going to be a first round draft pick, but it kind of puts you in the same mind of him throwing the ball. But again, if he goes to the right situation, I think Shedeur is going to be okay. I really do. But he's gonna end up with the Raiders either way it go though. We thinking about it now. So
that ain't a great situation. The Raiders are not a great situation.
Hey, look, Brady gonna try to get him. Look, hold on. Did you see the news with the Saints today?
What happened?
They got what's my guy that hired him as the head coach from the Cowboys, Kellen Moore. So they brought Kellen Moore the head coach. They brought in Nussmeier as the OC. So do you think they go and draft his son from LSU?
I hope not. He's bad. They might get him like in a 6th round or undrafted. He's gonna probably get called in for camp or something like that. But the Black Phillip Rivers, Shedeur is a Black Phillip Rivers.
He was all right.
I like Phillip.
Hold on. Young Phillip Rivers was nice when LT kept fumbling in the playoffs because they could have got to the Super Bowl a couple of years.
Yeah, LT did let him down a couple times.
You know what I'm
saying? But they had a solid team with the tight end, Antonio Gates, LaDainian Tomlinson. They were tough. They were tough.
Okay, hold on. Last question. What if Shedeur drops down, goes to the Saints? No.
Nah, I'm not a fan of Kellen Moore. I'm really not. Like I know what people are seeing with him at the Eagles, and they're like, "Oh my!" No, I've seen enough of his play calling. I'm good. I'm good on that. Shedeur. Shedeur won't like it. He won't like it. It's really pedestrian-ish. It's real pedestrian-ish. It's really simplistic. I don't think he'll like the simplicity of it, but I don't think he'll like the scheme of it. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot of comebacks. It's a lot of it's just dumb routes. It's a lot of dumb route concepts. Nah.
We'll see.
If it was like if he was with a Sean Payton, I would be like, "Ooh, I like that. I like that." Because I like what Sean's doing with Bo Nix and how he went athletic because he had Drew Brees and he could. Sean Payton and Shedeur would have been really, really good.
You know what, man?
That would have been scary. That would have been scary.
Sean Payton is a damn good coach. You look at what he did with Drew Brees in New Orleans. This is a whole different deal what he's doing in Denver.
That's what I'm saying.
That's a mark of a good coach. A whole different look, whole different feel, whole different offense.
I'm not mad at that Shedeur to the Dolphins. That's a great situation. Now I don't know if he has the arm strength to get it to Tyreek the way Mahomes did, and he would have to throw it a lot of anticipation to kind of put that ball out there. But I like that Shedeur to the Dolphins, though.
Wait a minute, bro. Hold on.
I mean, they're not pick. I mean, I think they pick 15 or something like that. But
hold on. Wait 1 second. I think we might be on to something. 1 second. Let me get this damn draft order. Bro, you got Tennessee, Cleveland, New York Giants, New England, Jacksonville, Vegas at 6, the Jets at 7, Carolina at 8, New Orleans at 9, Chicago at 10, San Francisco at 11, Dallas at 12, and the Dolphins at 13. I don't think Shedeur makes it at 13.
No, he won't make it.
But you got to account for trade. Okay, so look, we're not gonna go with Cleveland. Let's say Tennessee gets Cam Ward. Cleveland goes. Let's say they get Abdul Carter or they get Travis. Right? Yeah. Are the Giants getting Shedeur?
Absolutely. You need a quarterback. It's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. Unless Cleveland trades out of that pick and lets Oakland jump, you know what I'm saying? That's because to me it's like if you're Oakland, you're trading back. You're at 6, right? You're going 6-2. So you come up, you get your quarterback. Then New York probably goes Travis because he can play him on both sides of the ball. So they probably go Travis. And then you might get Abdul. You still might get Abdul, or you might get a Mason Graham or something like that. D-line or whatever. But Cleveland, to me, if I'm Cleveland, I don't really need a Shedeur. Or, you know what I'm saying? Because I don't think he works at Cleveland. I really don't. I think I like Jameis Winston in Cleveland. I really do. I don't know why. I like it. I think it's a great
too. Two questions to that point. First one. Does Jackson Dart go in the top 10?
No.
All right. Does anybody in the top 15 picks make a move and pick up Aaron Rodgers?
I think Dallas could. I wouldn't be mad at that. If I was Dallas, I would trade Dak for Aaron. I mean, no. Listen, I'm sorry. I would trade Dak.
You ain't got to trade him. I thought they waived him. I thought they were going to waive him.
No, you gotta trade. We just paid him all that money. We're not waiving him.
No. I'm saying Aaron Rodgers. I thought they waived him.
Yeah. No, listen, what I'm saying. Listen, you trade Dak to get assets, but you still bring on Aaron Rodgers to replace.
Okay. I got you.
You trade Dak away because I'm not a fan of Dak. I'm not the biggest fan of Aaron Rodgers. I think he's on the downside, but to me, I think he's a stopgap to whatever you do. And maybe you draft a Jackson Dart, right? So you use Aaron Rodgers to be your stopgap to a Jackson Dart, and you use Dak to be a piece to get more pieces to fund your draft capital. So that's what I would do. But
I'm gonna say this. See, the team that scares me over everything is Jacksonville.
With Trevor Lawrence,
I think they're primed to trade him. I think Jacksonville's primed to trade him, number one, but that doesn't mean they're going to draft a quarterback. Because a team like Jacksonville, I could see them, as crazy as it sounds, I could see them picking up an Aaron Rodgers.
I wouldn't be mad at. See, I think Trevor Lawrence is that perfect white boy look that Jerry would like, even though I know Jerry doesn't like to give away. He doesn't like to trade away pieces he's drafted. That's just really a Dallas thing. They don't like to give away people they've drafted. But I know for a fact, well, I don't know for a fact, but I've heard that, they want to trade Trevor Lawrence, but Trevor Lawrence has a no trade clause and he doesn't want to leave. That's a tough one. You know what I'm saying? So for me, I like Jackson Dart. I like gunslingers. That's just something I love. I love guys who have reckless abandonment with the ball. I really do. I know a lot of people be like, well, Scotty, picks. I like a guy who could throw 3 picks and then score me 6 touchdowns. I just like that.
I'm gonna say this. I think Jackson Dart, as crazy as it sounds, he looks the part of an NFL quarterback. He really does. More so than Shedeur and more so than Cam Ward. He has the size, has the arm, like he has the look of an NFL quarterback. I don't think he's better than Cam Ward. But you know what? I think Shedeur. Okay, who do you think had a better career, Shedeur or Cam in NFL? Cam Ward scares me.
Why you say that?
I don't know, man. It's just I don't believe both of them are going to have great careers in the NFL. One of them is going to be a bust.
If I was leaning to a bust, it would be Shedeur.
Really?
I really do like, and I don't mean like a bust like Jamarcus Russell bust.
Yeah.
I don't even mean bust like Daniel Jones bust. Okay, like Daniel Jones is just bad, or Mitchell Trubisky. I'm not saying. I just think that I really, what I love about Cam, it's the same thing. It's the same reason I like Jalen. It doesn't matter where you go, you produce. I just love guys like somebody put up a stat where every year. No. It's not the same. It's not the same. Every year, because I know what you're going to say. Every year that Jalen Hurts has been a quarterback since college, he's had
new offensive coordinator.
He had a new offensive coordinator every single year.
Hold on, going into his NFL career,
all the way up.
Yeah,
from his college,
and he's gonna have another one next year.
Dog, that's crazy.
I saw that.
So to me, Cam Ward is in the same boat. Incarnate Word.
That's a good point. In
Miami, and he's been successful at every stop. My issue is that not Shedeur can't grasp it.
Shedeur had 3 OCs in 1 year.
But hold up. It's always been conformed to what he does well. It's not that, hey, we do this, get on our page.
I get it.
You get what I'm saying?
No, that's a good point. That's a good point because point you're making is with Shedeur, it was whatever the change was made to benefit him. As opposed to Cam is like, I make a decision, I'm going some other place, and I'm adapting to whatever it is that I'm going to. Shedeur is like, there's a change, but the change was made to benefit me and for me, right? So I get that. That's a damn good point. That's a good point.
So that's my only thing with. That's why I love Cam Ward, and I love the speed in which Cam Ward plays. It just everything feels slow. Like nothing feels fast for Cam. It's just like, you know what I'm saying? It is what it is. But again, and you've talked about it, and we both mentioned it. What I will never knock is Shedor's work ethic. It's
For
there.
sure.
Regardless of what people say about him, how they feel about him, his work ethic is A1. So I think when he gets in that building and he gets in that environment, you're going to see the real deal Shedor. I just don't know if he has the capability to overcome a situation. So that's the only reason why I think he has. If he goes to the right situation, he'll have a better career than Cam Ward. If he goes to the wrong situation, it just is what it is. I think Cam Ward can overcome situations better than Shedor, but I think if he went to Cleveland, it would be bad too. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I think some programs are just bad for you. But I think Cam Ward could do better at Cleveland than Shedor.
That's a good point.
You see what I'm saying? That's just my 2 cents.
That's a good point. That's a good point. That's a damn good point. I ain't even think about it like that. Well, look, go ahead over there, FAMU. Look, gonna bring up FAMU had their pro day today. Let me pull this up. Well, not today, but no, not today. I'm sorry. They announced it today. My bad. Let me move this over. I'm tripping.
What? Why I missed it?
No, they announced their pro day today. As you guys see, March 20th. And Cozy actually released it, and so you guys stay tuned for that, man. Want to see what if Jamar Gaskins is going to really run a 4.3 because they got that time wrong at the HBCU Combine with the Legacy Bowl. So, and he's been quiet as kept. I know we've been hearing the noise about Rob McDaniel. We've been hearing about Irv and Joaquin, but Jamar's been having a good practice as well. But man, everybody get him on Elijah Williams right now. He's been shoot.
Okay. I'm going to be the Debbie Downer. Right?
Go ahead.
I'm gonna be the Debbie Downer. And Blue knows I'm solid. Like I've taught. My issue with the Legacy Bowl is this. It's not Elijah Williams' fault. Let me just say that. It's not his fault. But you're beating guys who don't have draft grades. So it's hard for a scout to be like, oh, yeah, you're really doing it when you're not like and Blue, me and Blue talked about it, right? When Carson Vincent was at the Senior Bowl and he was doing this thing in the practice, that was great. He gets in the game, he is getting his ass whooped. He's getting his ass handed to him in the game, in the Senior Bowl game, right? But there's some tape to say Shamar Stewart, that's a first-round draft pick that you're blocking. You're not going against draftable O linemen. You're not. No matter how people want to play it and slice it, you're not going up against draftable O linemen, right? So I think yes, you see this Elijah Williams and like, oh my God, and he's fluid, he's nice, he's a big boy, he can move. But I'm telling you what when I talk to some scouts, they always say, Scotty, the Legacy Bowl is either slow against slow or bad against bad. It's just not a conducive setting because it's just like most of these guys do not have draftable grades and you're killing them. You're killing them. You know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna just leave it like that. I've watched film on Elijah. I like him in certain aspects, certain things I don't like about his game, but overall, I think he's a talented player. And I think he should be in the league. But that's just my little 2 cents.
So you think best case scenario, he worked himself up to be a guaranteed undrafted free agent?
Yeah, I think you gotta. I think he's definitely you're definitely making the call. Come to camp. We want to see you in camp because it don't hurt. It don't hurt to get you in camp to see what you can really do and what you can really do against NFL talent, right? Or NFL prospects. And I think once you see Elijah, the power that he plays with is A1. The problem that I've seen on film is I'm not a fan of his motor. I'm just not a fan of his motor. It's too many times where I just see him like, you know what I'm saying? But
Mhm.
that ball go hike from what what he say? You just gotta live between the ball, getting the ball and handing it to Booby Miles.
Mhm.
When Elijah Williams between that hike and handing up, he's a tough SOB.
He coming
But
through like Rev too.
boy, that's a tough SOB.
I gotta watch it now.
Yeah.
Ivory. But yeah, man. Oh, let me put it back up. So yeah, we go ahead and bring this up too, man, about the swag MEAC actually brought in the weekly honors this week. Yeah, I should go ahead and pull this up, man. This games, hold on. And that's actually if I even got the damn thing up here. Well, I can actually go ahead and into the top 10. As you see, the men's Division One poll. You guys can actually see Southern came in number 1, Norfolk State number 2, FAMU number 3, which as you know the coaches got re-up. And man, the men and women actually looking good for FAMU, better than they have in quite some time. Yeah. You got Jack State coming in at 4, then South Carolina State coming in at 5. But man, actually, I want to speak to this, man. The MEAC, quiet as kept, men and women, they got 2 or 3 teams, man, with some damn good records right now. Overall records, not just conference record. And one crazy thing I've noticed, when they actually do some of the HBCU rankings, man, when they put their records by them, they're putting conference record. Because the majority of them, overall record is so horrible. But that's the one thing I wanted to highlight in the MEAC, man. The MEAC, I believe, got like 2 teams with some damn good records. They weren't necessarily Norfolk women is, man, bro, that coach has been kicking ass.
They different.
Yeah, but even the men's program, like, they may not have gone 500 in the non-conference slate, but they kind of almost were at 500. Thus, if they do good in conference slate, they can end the season with a damn good record. They still haven't reached double-digit losses yet. I believe they have about 8 losses right now. And if I'm not mistaken, I think there's something along the lines of like 18-8 or something like that. Damn good record. Yep. But in the swag, man, it's just horrible. Now, Southern is holding steady right now. At number 1, I think Southern has 9 losses, I believe, on the season. But and they only got 1 conference loss, but they got 2. I believe it was.
I thought Alabama A&M women's was doing pretty good.
They are. But their record their overall record is actually good. But I think Alabama A&M is sitting at about, I want to say
3 in conference, but they're 18-8.
Okay, overall. I was thinking they had 9. I'm actually process of bringing up now, and I'll tell you. But the MEAC is rolling right now. Hold on 1 second. My dang on thing is so damn slow. All right, here we go. So Alabama A&M right now, they're 18-8, and they're sitting in 3rd place. But you got Jack State and Southern tied for 2nd with 11-2 conference record. But see, again, Southern is 13-13 overall. Jack State 13-11 overall, and then Texas Southern is sitting number 1 in conference. They have a 12-2 conference record, but they're 13-12 overall. So literally going to conference play, they're 1-10. You see what I'm saying? And then, but if you go over to the MEAC, man, like Norfolk's record is amazing.
I'm looking at it right now. Like the women's is 22-4.
See what I'm saying?
22-4. They are 12-0 at home. That's crazy.
And then go look at what their record was last year. They were good last year. And then, like I said, when you factor in the boys, because Norfolk men's right now, they have a damn good record.
Yeah, they were 27-6.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So again, it's like what you do in that non-coverage slate, man. Like, it matters.
These girls last year they beat Appalachian State.
Yep.
They beat Drexel, William and Mary. They lost to Eastern Tennessee. They lost to Minnesota. They lost to Wake Forest by 5 points. So I mean, they was playing, man. They was playing.
So you look at like South Carolina State is sitting in they're tied for 2nd place with Howard, and that makes more sense. They're 13-12 overall, 6-3 in conference. Norfolk State, man, is 18-8 overall. That's a damn good record. Like, see, that's what I'm saying. That's smart scheduling, right? You know, you're going to schedule a lot of Power 4 games, but you also want to schedule a lot of games, you know what I'm saying, across the board, like, you know, maybe some Sunbelt teams, some, you know, other, you know, D1 games that you can actually win, as opposed to just getting your head drug in for a whole damn month before you come home in conference play. And that's what it appears that they did. And I had to take a look at A&T. I know A&T won their game today as well. I forgot who they were playing, but they did win their game.
My thing is this, and this is always going to be my, and it's the same thing I felt when Tamika was at Jackson. And she's not. I want to see what year 2 looks like at Charlotte, not year 1. Year 1 is pretty rough. But my thing was this: what do you do in a tournament? That's all I care about. I mean, granted, listen, I get it. I think this coach at Norfolk, the women's and the men's, I wouldn't be surprised if a PWI comes calling sooner or later. But I want to see wins in the tournament, and I want to see, because I'll tell you one thing: if Norfolk State gets, well, they're going to, if they make the run in the MEAC championship, which they should wax everybody.
Mm-hmm.
They got to be 10. They got to be 11 and up. They can't be nothing less than 11. Because they're like ranked number 2 or 3 in G5.
It won't matter. The RPI is killing them. RPI is killing them. They're probably, I don't know if the women do the play-in game, but they're probably going to be in the play-in game.
No, ain't no way. Ain't no way you put these girls in no play-in game.
I'm telling you, man, look at the conference RPI. Just look at the non-conference. The SWAC is in the same boat this year. RPI is horrible. Horrible.
That's tough.
It's horrible. And like, honestly, I think at best, granted, now they're ranked pretty good in the mid-major poll. Norfolk State is.
They like top. I know they like the top 5.
Man, at best they're gonna be a 15 seed, but that's what you will hope for. They won't be 14. I can tell you right now.
They said 14 seed right now for Norfolk State.
See,
that's crazy
with that record, but that's because the RPI is killing them. That's why, man, every major, it don't have to be an upset, but like any of win they could get, man, if all the teams could get close to being 500, they could win the way they're winning, and they could be a 13 or a 12 seed. Seriously.
Yeah.
But man, you can't be winning one game non-conference and then you suck in the conference game. And look at the standings. Look at the drop off from second to last place. It's bad. It's like it's falling off a cliff.
Yeah, it is. It is pretty bad. And what you know, and I'm not gonna lie. I hate to say this, but I miss Tamika. It don't like, I really do, man. It don't like. It was like everybody trying to kill Goliath. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was really like, everybody's trying to climb this mountain to kill Goliath, but you just couldn't do it. And that was the fun part about it, was just like, who gonna take down the giant? Now it's just like, it's just like, whatever.
See, everybody. To your point, I want to say this, and I'm taking my blue white glasses off when I say this. This is why I think it was a bad move for her to leave when she did. I'm not against her leaving. I don't think the timing was right. Because watch this. If Norfolk still has the season that they're having right now, it looks different if Jackson State is still winning under Tamika Reed this year and they've had some upsets. It helps it out because now you got 2 of those teams probably in the top 5 of the mid-major poll. You see what I'm saying? And then now it looks different when you talk about what it could happen in the tournament. But also, when under Tamika, man, they were beating Texas Tech. They were giving Arkansas fits. And I think she probably goes further this year at Jackson State than she does in her first year at Charlotte. That's why I think the move this year, honestly, it was like, I want to move up. I'm going to take the first thing that was given to me.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest. You know, I really felt like she could have got a different job that probably would have. Because here's the thing. Even if she goes to Charlotte and has some success, you know, I know, we all know, she's going to use that job to move up too, because that's not a landing spot.
Yeah.
It is a segue. Well, so what I'm saying is, I would rather take a job that was losing, that's at a stronger hole where I can actually win there and stay there. Because she's not going to stay in Charlotte, and we all know this. So that's why I think she should have even taken a job. I really felt like because she would have had success at Jack State this year, because she would have won again this year. I really felt like she moved too fast. We knew she was going to leave at some point, but she only strengthens her resume. She only becomes more attractive, and then if she gets to the tournament and wins a game,
that's
man,
here, sky's the limit.
And it'll be other job that's probably even better. I would rather her go to a job losing this. They got rid of a coach in the SEC or in the ACC. You see what I'm saying? That's a better job than going to Charlotte, because again, even if she wins in Charlotte, she's going to use Charlotte to do the very thing that she was doing at Jackson State. Point blank period. So,
for what I heard, it was just to give, her assistants more money and, stuff like that, which I respect, what I'm saying, at the end of the day. But, it's lost its luster. And the reason I say that, for me, when it comes to SWAC basketball,
all money ain't good money.
It's lost its luster because it's like there's no team in the SWAC right now that could beat anybody in the tournament. Like, maybe to play in, but you're not competing in no like seeds or like the LSU and Jackson game. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no games like that. You're not getting any game like that in with any of these teams. I don't give a damn what you talking about. I don't care who you talking about. None of these teams are competing on that level, and that's the part of it I miss, because I used to love seeing what Tamika was bringing just to prepare for the tournament, to be like, oh yeah, this is gonna be. I can't wait to see, regardless of who she was going up against, because I knew they were going to compete at a high level. But yeah, I'm not.
And look, truth be told, if you didn't say her name, you don't even know she's coaching right now. And also, if I'm her, I would have rather her wait. What if that Memphis job comes open?
Man, I thought you were going to say that too when you were talking about jobs. I was like, that Memphis job would have been perfect.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And guess what? She can have more success in Memphis than she can in Charlotte.
That's fair.
So that's why I said she jumped the gun too fast. But while on the bridge, could I tell you what? First year you get that mulligan. If she ain't winning that second year, it's gonna be a lot of SWAC. It's gonna be a lot of SWAC schools saying, "Hey, you want to come on back over here?
Hey, big head.
Hey, big head." Exactly.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly. They're gonna be on it next year too. Well, look, man, we're finna roll up out of here, man. Look, let everybody know how you can be reached, man.
Come on, man. Y'all know where y'all can catch me at, man. You know your boy Scotty. You can catch me on the OFFSCRIPT all the time, anytime, over there, kicking it, doing my thing and stuff, man. I appreciate you for having me on, so man. This is fun. Got to figure out some eCam stuff on my side, see if I can make it happen.
And I do too.
And we go from there, man.
All right, man. Look, thank y'all for tuning in to Zone Coverage Podcast, man. I ain't got no ending caller like my boy Scott say, but since he here, we gonna say it. You know what I'm gonna do? I'm a holler. Peace out, y'all. We out of here.
Peace.